Talk Shoes.
Recorded live.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Travis and Vic's Drunken Horror Adventures. We are here talking about the top 10 horror movie kills of all time, or at least our own personal list. It's Travis. It's Vic. What's up, Vic?
What's up? What's up?
And it's Blake. Blake's back with us.
Howdy.
And, you know what? It's been 2 weeks, so how about I take a shot? Here we go.
Yeah.
Fucking pineapple rum.
Oh, rum. That's my poison of choice, man. After Vegas, yes.
Lovely rum from Tortuga. Rum factory.
Lovely rum from. That was so funny. Lovely rum from. I was like, ha.
Well, let's intro this thing. You know, we're doing the top 10 horror movie kills. If you look on YouTube, there's all sorts of different people who have top 10 lists, and most of them, by and large, are either like I mean, you can't call them the top 10 as far as best, because most of them are like iconic, and just iconic, you know, like the Psycho shower scene. But is that really in the top 10 of best horror movie kills? Maybe the best known, but is it the best? I don't know. We'll see what your lists look like. But we're kind of looking for, you know, it's our own personal preference. The only rule that we put on it, and this was Blake's idea, and I completely agreed with him, is that you only get one per series. So you can't have 5 Nightmare on Elm Street, you can't have 2 Friday the 13th, you know. So it's one per series, which is actually a lot. Yeah, it's a lot harder than you would think, you know, because there's some series that don't have such great kills, not to spoil it, but I feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre has always been weak on the kills, high on the you know, creepiness and absurdity, but the kills maybe not so great. And, you know, you could probably say that about a few other series, too. So tonight, I mean, we're going to go ahead and give our top 10. Who wants to go first? With their number 10, that is.
I'll go first. Let's do it.
So Vic's going to go number 1, or with his number 10 first. Go ahead, buddy. What's your number 10 kill in a horror movie?
Coming in at number 10 is actually from one of my favorite movies. I'm going with the chainsaw drop from American Psycho, where he dropped the chainsaw down the steps.
That's beautiful. I will admit I don't have that on my list, but you know what? It's a fucking great one. I think I would have probably had that on my list had you seen a little bit more. It's just the idea of it's awesome, though.
The idea of Patrick Bateman.
There is an idea of a Patrick Bateman.
Yes. Something illusory.
Vic, is that the best chainsaw kill of all time? I mean, it's got to be up there.
It's up there. I don't know if it's the best. I mean, it tops everything in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if that makes it feel any better.
Yeah.
Strong
sadly.
word.
Well, you know, Texas Chainsaw is, despite the fact that it's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, not known for a lot of great chainsaw kills, which is a shame. You know, it's more about the hammer.
Threat in that movie, or in that series.
Yeah. Or the idea of it. Yeah, exactly. Well, Blake, I'll let you go first, or I'll let you go next, rather, with your number 10.
Well, my number 10 actually is the character Paul being eaten by the Blob in Chuck Russell's 1988 remake. My good buddy Nick Benson did most of those effects. So I just remembered being really creeped out by this liquid, this purpley kind of oozy blob liquid, and then just it covering the guy and like causing his arm to like, it ate his arm, and it was really good for its time, and not one a lot of people probably would pick, but it was actually pretty dark for its time, you know.
Dude, they killed the kid in that movie. You know what I'm saying? They pulled the Halloween 3. They killed the kid. And, you know, I almost had the blob kill of the little kid in the sewer on my top 10. So some of the blob kills are fucking disgusting and disturbing. Blake, that's a great number 10. Both of you have awesome number 10s.
Thank you.
So let's see if I can compare. And this sucks because this series has so many great kills, but I got to go with a little bit of an iconic one that's influenced a lot of things after the fact, but also an ultra gory one. So it's very hard to only use one from this series, but I think this one, I'm using it because it's not like completely off the wall, but it's also insanely awesome and gory. Number 10 for me, Final Destination Bus Smash, where the girl walks into the road and gets fucking blown up by the bus. That, to me, is amazing. I mean, her body just fucking shatters everywhere. There's gore everywhere. And it hurts that's my only Final Destination one because it's such a fucking good series for kills. I think it's underrated.
I said I'm going to spoil something for later, but yeah, it was hard to find just one final destination, and you'll hear mine later.
Yeah, fuck, man, it's so hard. This whole thing's so fucking hard. Vic, well, you're at number 9 now, buddy.
All right, let's go to number 9. And speaking of a franchise or something like that, with a lot of good kills and hard to find just one, I went with Laid to Rest 2, where Chrome Skull threw the knife his little double-sided knife right through that girl's face. That was amazing. You know what I'm talking? I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it like the effect on that was so fucking good. I almost had that on my list also because it was so well done. I mean, they showed it all. They used twins to do that effect, Vic.
That's actually amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that is an amazing kill. I don't have Chrome Skull on my list. It makes me sad, but I don't know if it's maybe too underground or what it was. Again, this is all our own personal preference. So for me, I kind of always went a little bit iconic, but also gory and looks good too. So there's kind of an idea of a Travis Desmond. Sorry, I was going back to Blake's idea, but no.
I just
you
look
know.
at things.
It's really hard to define what you're looking for here, and I looked for all of the combination, and I kind of think I achieved that with number 10. I'm not sure about my number 9, but I'll get there because Blake's up next. Good number 9, Vic. Really good.
Very good, and I've actually, believe it or not, I've joined the realm of the living. I went ahead and got us Netflix and a full awesome internet connection I've never seen, Laid to Rest, so I will be watching that now.
Danielle Harris is in part 2, too. So very good.
I saw that picture of you and her. I saw that picture, Travis. That was a good picture, man.
Yes, it was.
Okay,
dude,
so
I sat there and talked to her for a minute about my kids and stuff because she just had a kid in February. She was super sweet again.
Yeah.
As always.
I've always heard good things about her. But number 9 was hard for me. And really, it's kind of a weird one to pick. You know, a lot of people are against remakes. I am not. If a remake is done well, I will allow it. You know, if it can
bring them.
But I went with The Hitchhiker Suicide, the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 03.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh,
that's amazing.
That's a fucking brutal, nasty scene, and that is a disturbing scene. That might be the most disturbing scene of any of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies, and that's going a long way.
Man. I had to. It was so good, and I had to rewatch it again just to see that. I mean,
and it was a lasting kill too. You didn't just get it and then that was it. It kept on.
I love when the camera
the entire
zooms
movie
in through the hole in her head. When the camera zooms in through the hole in her head and you see the terrified faces of everybody else in the band. Instant fan right here. I loved it.
Marcus Nispel, you did a hell of a job.
Yep.
And as I've said before, I think Texas Chainsaw of the major slashers is the best remake. So, I mean, that movie revolved around that kill. It's a very good kill. But you guys, I tell you what, you guys are hitting it out of the park with your number 10s and number 9s. Well, here's my number 9. This is another successful franchise that we all know, and it's very hard to pick one. In fact, up until, I don't know, a few days ago, I had a different one from this franchise, and I finally changed my mind, and I went with this one. I don't know why I did, other than I just think it's awesome and simple. I went with the Michael Myers hot tub face melting from Halloween 2, where he takes Big Tits Nurse, and he sticks her face in that scalding hot water. And even though his hand doesn't get burnt from it, her face sure gets burnt off. And what sucks about having Halloween 2 in my list now at number 9 is that now I can't have the face melt from Halloween 3 because I really wanted that on there. But something about Halloween 2, I don't know, man, because it's a slow death. You know what I'm saying? She didn't just drown. She didn't just die quickly. She burned and drowned all at once. That's fucking nasty to me, brutal. And while there's others that are worse in certain ways, it's also slightly iconic to me, too. And simple. Again, he didn't use his butcher knife here. He just used his good old hand and some fucking hot water. So, well, and I could have easily went with Curse of Michael Myers with the head explosion, but we may get to some head explosions later.
I like it. All
yes,
right.
Sir.
You ready for number 8?
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right. I'm going to go to A Little Street Called Elm Street with where he pulls Johnny Depp through the bed from the original
Yes,
Nightmare on Elm Street.
that's on a lot of people's top 10 lists. And my issue with that is, and the reason why I don't have it in my top 10, it is full of blood. It's absolutely awesome. But you really don't get to see what happens to him other than there's just blood everywhere. But it is iconic, and it is awesome. So, I mean, I'm not disputing it whatsoever. It's hard not to have it on any list. Blake, what do you think about Vic's number 8 there, buddy?
I really liked it. I actually was hesitant. I'll get to that later about which Elm Street kill I picked, and it's actually changed a few times. That one is really, really good, and the reason I think that one's so iconic and deserves to be on the list is because, in addition to it, being full of blood and stuff, it was very close to almost electrocuting and killing Wes Craven, Jacques Aitken, and everybody else on that soundstage because the blood started going the wrong way, out sideways. They sent that room in the wrong direction, and it was,
everybody about died.
Yeah, so I mean, there's real terror there, and there's the on-screen stuff. And believe it or not, what we see is was only the footage they could salvage. They wrecked most of the original footage, so what we see is just what they were able to salvage and put into the final print. So it's fucking nasty. And Peter Kelly, who pulled Johnny Depp through the bed, was on our show here. He got to play Freddy Krueger in that iconic scene and pull him into the bed, and that was he was a hell of a guest. That's a hell of an accomplishment to have in your filmography.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
All right, Blake. So what's your number 8, buddy?
Oh man, it was so hard because again, I love a lot of kills in this franchise, but I have to go with the traffic pile up in Final Destination 2. The whole thing, all of it. It was so fun.
Yes.
Every time I get behind a logging truck, I tell my wife, I look at her, I'm like, we need to change lanes right fucking now.
Dude, I get scared on airplanes. I get scared behind logging trucks. I get scared on roller coasters, all because of that fucking series. That series, you know what they say about Psycho, making you scared of being, taking a shower, or Jaws, going into the water. That fucking series made you scared of everything. It made me scared of life.
Scared of life. But yeah, it was hard to pick, but there's a lot of good gore in that. There's a lot of good gore. There's a lot of it's practical, for the most part. There's a lot of practical stuff going on there, and it's such an iconic. I mean, the first one was iconic. Mostly Todd's death with the shower and the line wrapped around his neck, and there's a lot of good kills in that first one, but as far as an entire scene, I think the traffic accident scene probably ties with the roller coaster scene in part 3. Yeah.
What about the bridge too? The bridge, that was fun.
Yeah.
Although I think Mothman Prophecies does that one better. Personally.
Yeah, I agree.
That movie screwed me up. All right. So we've got 2 from Final Destination so far. 1 from Halloween, and I'm talking about the series. We've got a couple of one-offs like, Laid to Rest and, Nightmare on Elm Street. We've got 1 from there now. So let's see, American Psycho. So we're all over the place right now. It's pretty sweet. I like when we're completely different all over the place. So my number 8 is also all over the place. And it's one I don't know if you guys would think of, but it is, some kind of a horror movie. Number 8 for me is the car crash scene from Death Proof. When Kurt Russell takes Death Proof and he rams it into those bitches, that is one of the most brutal scenes in cinema history. I mean, it shows a tire go over one of their faces, one of their legs get chopped off, and that scene is absolutely disgusting but also awesome, and it's so good that they play it multiple times from different angles.
I actually had that on my list early, and the more I thought about stuff, it eventually got pushed off. But it started around number 5 on my list, and I just moved back and back and back.
If you think about it, I have 2 crash scenes already, a bus crash and a car crash. So I guess maybe the sounds are a big part of it for me, too. You know what I mean? Because the sounds they play a part there, too. I think it unnerves you a little bit. So, and of course, Blake did the same thing with the car crash. So, obviously, those are playing a role on our list so far. Vic is going straight weaponry right now, other than the Johnny Depp one.
Yeah, that's fine, Joy.